So we're going to go in here with the Algebra 1 videos online, and this first video is over bar graphs and data plots, something that most of us probably have seen for the most part. Just good way to get us started here. The first thing you're going to see here on our screen is some vocabulary that you'll definitely need to know. Minimum, maximum, range, a pictograph, a bar graph, and dot plots. So if you would at some point during the next time, if I'm rambling or whatever, just stop the video, go back here, pause it, write all this stuff down in your notebook. Okay, this is vocabulary that I will use throughout the remainder of the chapter and pretty much the year. So you will definitely need to know this. So get this stuff written down, and we'll move on. So the first thing we're going to talk about here, min, max, and range. Okay, that's the abbreviation that we use for it, minimum, maximum, range. We've got here a data set over here on the left hand side. If you see something, these little squiggly looking brackets we've got here on the left, that means it's a data set. That's this whole set of numbers that's brought together. Okay, so they're all related to each other in some way, some form. So now we're going to do our best to find our min, the max, and the range for this data set that we have over here. Okay, so the minimum value is the smallest value in our data set. So in this case, look, okay, 11. Nope, that's bigger, that's bigger, that's bigger. Up, something smaller there. There's 8. Up, 6. Looks like it's the smallest. So the minimum value here is 6. The maximum value is the biggest value. And if we look through our data set, we're looking through here, up, get to 50. That looks like that's the biggest number, and it is. So we add 50 to our max. Now the range, okay, you saw that there was the word difference in there. Difference always means subtraction in the world of mathematics. So what we do is we subtract the min and max. Now, it wouldn't make much sense to us to subtract 6 minus 50. We always subtract the big number minus the little number, which if we do that gives us an answer of 44. Okay, so that's the min, max, and range of this data set. You'll deal with some bigger data sets, bigger numbers, but I think that's fairly straightforward for us to go through. Okay, so now if we're looking here, the next thing that we had saw on our vocab word was the word pictograph. Okay, a pictograph is a graph of pictures. Okay, and we've got over here on the left hand side, this would be our table. Okay, varieties of apples in a food store. This is our table. We got 30, 25, 40, 20, and 35 of these different apples. Apples are very good for you, by the way. What a pictograph does is it gives you a key down here that tells us what each picture represents. In this case, a full apple represents 10 apples. A half apple represents 5. So they draw us and give us this data here. A pictograph is kind of limited because of the fact that you have to be able to have nice even measurements. In this case, we've got all factors of 5. We've got 30. This would be 25. There's the 40, 20, and 35. Okay, so that's what we've got going on there. You'll be asked not really to draw a pictograph, but more to be able to interpret pictographs. So being able to look at something that looks like this and then tell me what it actually means. Right? So starting with this and end with that. Okay. The next thing on our vocab was a bar graph. All right, and a bar graph is essentially what it is, or what it sounds like. It's a graph that is made up of bars. So what we've got here is favorite types of movies. Okay, we've got comedy, action, romantic, and drama and sci-fi. I don't know, they must have been polling women if they get 6 romances in here. Now granted, if we've got 5 there, that's nice for the action. Okay, you'll be asked to create bar graphs. You can create a bar graph that looks like this, or your bar graph can horizontal bar. the bar graph can also be a horizontal bar graph, so it looks something like this, so forth, where we've got the number or the comedies here, all right, or the types of movies on the side, and then the numbers on the bottom. You can also do that, whatever floats your boat. You just ride that tide all the way through. Okay, so it doesn't matter to me. You make it however you feel confident doing that. The bar graphs is something that I think we can all do very simply, very easily there. Okay, the last thing, something you may not have seen before, and that's called a dot plot. Okay, what a dot plot is a number line. So I'll draw you as straight of a line as I can here on my computer, and it's a number line that uses dots here to represent our data. Okay, so a number line is very similar to a bar graph, except instead of having these bars here, we're going to have a number line with little dots that go above it. Okay, so if we look here, I start with my smallest number. In this case, it's going to be 56. Then this would make that 57. This is 58. I'm not going to label it for sake of space. Here's 59, 61, 63, 65. Okay, so the big thing with a dot plot is you have to keep the number line going. All right, so if this is a 56, we had a bigger span of data here, we would have to go 56 all the way up to the biggest part of data that we've got. Okay, so we're looking here. Anytime you see a number, you just put a dot right above it. So we see 57, there's one dot. I go up 61, there's a dot. 62, see that once, and then we see it again there. Okay, and then we go to 58, we see that 3 times in a row. So there's 1, 2, 3 for 58. 60 we see once, and then we go back and see 56 again. Okay, so this looks, if we look at it here, looks very similar to what we had with the bar graph. Okay, but we're just using dots. This also helps us, our range, or our minimum value would be 56. Maximum value here is 62. Okay, so we can see the mins and maxes really easily. And when we talk about measures of central tendency tomorrow, we can also see that here very easily as well. And here you will find the try on your own problem. So make sure you're getting this problem copied and try to do this one on your own. It will go into your notes and will be checked in class. If you have any other questions or anything else that you need help with, make sure you let me know, and have a good day.